Hi, I'm Mutgren. Welcome to Dad's Old Shop. Today, we're working on another part of the Blacksmithing Bellows. This is the middle stretcher. So, I don't want to lift it up because it's very heavy right now. But you can kind of see it over here. There you go. There we go. This placement was definitely intentional. So, that is the outflow, and then there's the base plate, which will be on the ground. And then there's another plate that we cut, that will be the top whooshy bit. In the middle, there is a bit that separates the bottom, which is that base plate there, from the top whooshy bit, and that part doesn't move. It stays still. And it kind of separates the flow from the bottom to the top to help allow the outflow to be a little bit smoother. This is all, like, I don't want to say circumstantial is the wrong word, but this is all just kind of inferred from sketches and other blacksmithing bellows, either builds or if I could find old manuscripts of how people made them and stuff, because we're definitely cutting corners and doing some things, but that's kind of where I'm at on that. It's not going to be a full 2 chambers, which is fine, as long as it provides some impediment between the outflow, which is the top squishy bit, and the bottom, then it's fine. So I have a length marked out here that I'm going to cut this to. This part out here, this side where it's a little bit wider, is going to be curved, and it will force out the cloth material on the bellows. That cloth is there to, trap air. So it'll keep it stretched out so it doesn't collapse. So it'll be at a low angle out here, sort of. So it'll come out kind of like that. Won't be perfect, and that's fine. We're just trying to kind of get as good as we can, and we're going to work from it. It's probably going to be a weird whale tail shape, end up being. And that's fine. Once again, it's just to get this kind of done. And I'm just walking over here, because we have to make our first saw cuts. I'm going to grab a saw here. Obviously, don't clean off the bench at all, because that would involve prior thinking. And I don't do that here. It's all vibes. Let's go. It's just vibes. Trying to make sure it's all in frame-ish. In frame-ish. As I step on a million offcuts. Okay. And it's a shame, because they're kind of big offcuts, but they're definitely not big enough for me to be thinking about keeping like they are. And that's a personal failing. Thinking I can make every offcut into something useful. Alright, so I already have a line scribed here. Cool. Kind of see it. So let me grab my straight edge here. I'm just going to extend it a little bit. I found this chisel, and I'd been wondering where the chisel was. This is a 1-inch buck rose. It's a cheap chisel, but it's done well. And it's the 1-incher, so it's pretty good for hogging out material. And it disappeared. I'm like, where did I put it? And when you have a wife, you would never accuse her of moving your tools. Because the answer is, I didn't touch your stuff. That's your stuff. I don't know what that stuff is. So, it went missing, and I went, well, I guess I did something. So, flash forward to finding out, thought my fire smoke detector was beeping. And we were looking for one, because where we heard a beeping sound, there wasn't a smoke detector. So I'm like, what the heck's going on here? And we did realize eventually that it was the sump pump backup alarm. So it's not the sump pump, it's the alarm itself has a battery that needs to get changed over so often. Perfectly fine. Reasonable. I was going to get it done before stream, just so that I didn't hit the typecast and just have a chirping alarm in the back, because it sounds exactly like a smoke detector. I didn't realize. I didn't bring down my rubber mallet. I'm going to hammer this in, break my hand here. Yeah, it's probably fine. Yeah. But yeah, we found out it was that. And as we're looking looking in drawers, and then I see that there, and it's next to a bunch of looks like wax or something like that that's been chopped up. And I'm like, what's this? She's like, oh, well, I thought you wouldn't mind. It was it's my Fells naphtha soap. I use it for deep stains and stuff. And I need to chop it up. So I grabbed one of your tools. Figured you wouldn't miss it. I would, and I would never ask you about a missing tool. Because you've always adamantly said you don't touch them. But now I know. Touchy stuff. It's fine. Alright. So just trying to get this across here. Scribe the line. Oh, I see I'm already deviating from the line. That is okay. This is all rough work anyway. I was going to make the tops and the bottom the exact shape, and then I wondered if that geometry is correct. Then I realized none of this matters, and as long as it's together, it'll probably be fine. I'm not going to torture myself. I'm going to get a project done in time so that I can't use it. It looks like we're going to head in the drought again soon. And with that comes no open burns, which kind of wants. I mean, I understand the reason. I'm one of those people that are like, yeah, I'll make sure nothing burns. It's not always your choice. It's wind and nature, yada yada, but I can still be bummed about it. That's free. This is a piece of old plywood. Oh god, it went into the fan. Oh god, it's gonna come back in my face. That was stupid. That I left outside after using a bit of. I forget what I got it for. So this is just upcycling old material, which is also kind of the point of Bellows. Is to clean up areas by upcycling scrap wood. This is the one on this side right here. I don't think you can see it, but when it becomes an offcut, I'll bring it up. There's a praying mantis egg case. I didn't know what it is until relatively recently. So that was cool. Weird to touch my stuff, but okay. In general, I think they're pretty okay. Also wild to me that, like, the closest relatives to praying mantises are termites and cockroaches. They're all the same order because they all have triangle-shaped heads. And they're just more similar to each other than other things. And I couldn't imagine three animals that were more different. A hunting, stealthy prey animal, a sneaky thing that we consider vermin, because it is, and a eusocial insect. Three completely different paths. Like the bees is like the Hymenoptera, like the wasp and ants and hornets, like they did use sociality a lot, and then most of them are parasitic. Just so many options to have so many options, and they still chose relatively less options per member of the family than the name of these creatures. Probably something to try, something with the three-headed head or something. Hymenoptera or something. Alright, we're almost through. Trying to get a good cut here. Alright, pretty good. So you can see it here. Right there. It's already erupted, nothing. Actually, I think it got laid and then everything in it died because it was not in a great spot. I don't think it ever erupted. But something definitely dug through it because the cells are open. So either it did burst open and stuff came out, or scavengers came in to pick eggs and stuff. Alright, so this is roughly the length that I want. The length of the top piece, I can do this here because this is relatively light, is this. So, going from here, it's a bit. Let me get the holdfast out of here. And I guess also the salt. Let me act like I know what I'm doing. There we go. Act like I got some sense. That's something I say too much. Act like you got some sense, kiddo. Alright. So we're just going to line it up here a little bit just so I get an idea of where I'm going. Because we're just going to go to the tip because that's simple. And where's my marker? Where did I put that marker? I don't know where that marker went. It's okay, that's on me. We're just going to scribe the nonsense out of it here. Oh man, it's getting taken too. That's the other thing about plywood is like it doesn't necessarily follow a grain. So that's what I'm dealing with. Trying to mark into it just skating. One day I'll find that marking knife. Maybe my wife moved it. Not gonna say that, she's gonna punch me. That's just asking for punching. And I'm gonna get the rough shape cut out down here and I'll, on this end, and I'll worry about aligning up there later because that shape's gonna need some refinement. Thank you, Top Template. You've been helpful. You know, I have this. I was using this and I forgot, not that I had it, but I forgot that I could just use that when I need to do certain things. So what that is that is a sanding block. It is by, what company is this? True Grit? Duragrit. And got this on sale a while ago. And really, when I got them, they didn't make too many of them at the time. Oh, I hit a hotkey. All good. And when I got them, they were mostly off sale except for the lowest grit. So it's use it like a shaping block. But it's basically unlimited 80 grit sandpaper. So these are like brass or steel. And it's coated. Either way, it just chews through wood. I love it. And also it has square reverse edges, which is also important. So that you can go right up against things. And so like if you were to use this on a shooting board, you could. Because it has a square 90 edge there. Alright, ow. Try not to get as few splinters in me as possible. Alright, we're going to head through that hole fast over here. Actually, this one I could just use a regular clamp for. Regular clamp. And there we go, a little bit of a turn. And just setting up the shot a little bit. Okay. Got it in the groove. Oh, I see why I was wondering a little bit. There's a knot there. So this weekend I went to a new Japanese place and it was nice. It was like a low-key place in like a food court. But they had gyudon. Ow. Sorry, I stabbed myself. And I, A, forgot that it came with an egg as like a standard complement of it. But B, I got it to go. Which, egg just sitting overcooking in a hot container, it just ends up not being good. Just I might get it again, but no egg next time. It was good. At least the meat and broth and the rice part. But every time you hit an egg, it's like, oh, here's an overcooked egg rock. Yay. And I'm sure it was the right consistency when they put it in the to-go container. remember, this is maybe 15 years ago, being astounded that they separated the broth from the noodles when you got to go. Find out this is standard other places. Just the USA where they're like, everything together, good luck. Like, we had the technology this whole time. It's called plastic bags and tying knots. Not revolutionary stuff. Got us on time. I was almost late. I didn't expect some pre-stream stuff to take as long as it did. Also, I wanted to go for a walk or stream, and super rain came. So I have a walking pad. It's a little bit small, but it does do the job. Get some activity in the day. I really need to go to the gym. Do some lifting, not just walking. Where am I even walking to? Today I want to walk and pick up my daughter from dance, but alas, I had to pick her up in the car. It's a shame too. She wanted to walk. I picked her up and she was kind of sad. But also she was sad about like a dozen things because small child, no emotion regulation. Being out in the game, not immediately knowing where her shoes were, you know, normal stuff in your child. Alright, so I think once these two cuts are done, I think that'll end up being the stream for tonight. Nice and short. I know, like, people say for growth you should have longer streams. That's fine. I don't want to. I don't think my projects are that interesting for that whole time. And also, usually I don't have that far thought ahead. I kind of go as far as I have a thought ahead. The longest, like, people that do those longer streams are often not crafting streamers. Gaming streamers. Right? And you can play a game for a while. And then of the crafting streamers upset. For longer. A lot of them are, you know, chat with people and talk people up. I'm just hanging out. Also, I'm just very conscious of my own energy levels and stuff. Because this is not my day job, nor will it ever be. Which is fine by me. Oh, I'm over here, tracking camera. I'm over here. Sorry for gulping. It's kind of stuffy down here. So, you need to stay hydrated. Get you out of the way. And then we got one last corner. Alright, and that'll probably be a good 30 or so minutes. I don't want to do one super long anyway. It wasn't even going to be a crafting stream. It's going to be a gaming stream, but... Well, I'm not going to say that I don't like streaming games, because I do. And I, you know, do it in my free time with friends and stuff, but... I feel like the essence of this channel is on building and creating. So... Not saying that I won't ever do it, but... You know. If at any point I can do... crafting stream, I prefer that. Sorry, I'm just looking at something here. Mouse, wake up. Wake up. There we go. Okay, perfect. And here we go. It's going to be fun to figure out how to do the air proofing stream for the cloth. Like, I don't even know if I can do that on stream. Just because I have to get a big old pot and I have to put a bunch of... First of all, I have to super saturate a solution with borax, then take that out, let it dry, and then I have to submerge that blanket in turpentine and paraffin wax to give like a waterproof coating, and maybe beeswax. But yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do that because I'm definitely not doing that in my house, and it probably smells bad. B, I don't want to burn down my house. Slash get carbon monoxide poisoning because I'm not actually cooking. I'm confident in cooking and stopping cooking fires. Not confident in hydrocarbon fires. Like, I know the answer is fire extinguisher, but... because I looked into getting leather, and I have some leather, but leather for a whole bellows is more money than I'm willing to spend at this time. It's like a 100 and some odd, 150, maybe $170 to get the amount of leather. You still have to treat that anyway. Not as much, but also I'm gonna damage it anyway because I'm new at this. So starting with canvas and then potentially moving the leather later. It's probably the play. Oh yeah, and I came to Starfinder this weekend. Excited about that. The review some stuff. It's been a little while. We had a summer party and then had some people off. So it's been about a month since the last game. I'm excited. I'm having a lot of fun. Ah! I did talk to somebody else about doing a game stream. We'll see if they want to stream it. Either way, I just want to play this game with somebody. Beyond Two Souls. I recently finished it. I did a Blue Sky post about it. Game's terrible, but not because it's one of those so bad it's good kind of things. It's Elliot Page and Willem Dafoe, and made by the same team that did Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human. And it's a story about a girl as a ghost. Seems like a ghost or some extra planar entity that protects her. And you do all sorts of stuff in this sort of non-chronological way. So the game doesn't realize that means that for a lot of its runtime, you have no actual time to make connections with the people that you make decisions about. So you end up being kind of a psychopath. Also, it kind of forces it wants to try to enforce a certain direction for romance, and if you give that romance any thought, you realize it's super creepy. And there's all sorts of other stuff that just like wouldn't fly in writing in this day and age. And I'm not saying like, oh, things were better back then, you could make stuff. It's like, no, they don't fly to these days because people know better. Like, you see this and they go, this is jumping the shark. And that's the entirety of this game. And the part that I find so fun about it is it has asymmetrical co-op. So one of you plays the ghost. One of you plays the main character, Woody is her name, and the other one plays the ghost. So you don't get to play except in certain sections as a ghost. But you're all powerful and non-powerful at the same time. It's very funny. And mostly it's just you screw me at controls to make them work. Because it also controls bad. I'm not selling it as a very fun game, but it also does go on sale for under $3 very often. And you can get 10, 15 hours out of it. I got through the road with my friend, and we did pretty good. We got, I think, a pretty good ending. I don't think the game says it's a good ending, but I think it's a good ending. So I think the ending that it wants is kind of doo-doo. This is that sanding block, by the way. I'm just using it to bump off some of the rough edges here after the cut. Not going too crazy because I know I'm going to be here again soon. Follow-up cuts. But just so that I can, like, touch this board and not go ow every time. Still probably going to out of habit, but... So I was talking to a person in a regiment in Foxhole. And I mentioned the regiment that I was in. And he's like, man, I hear a lot about that regiment and stuff and where it came from. And how do you guys keep any of this history straight? I'm like, well, it's only been the last 6 months in any of this history that I know of. Other people have history. Here are the people that you currently know that were part of this. Just maybe don't talk about it. And no, I don't know anything. I was a grunt. I could tell you, as with most things, it's peoples and personalities not getting along in a video game, which is the commonest thing there is. But he's like looking for a comprehensive history of just how systems came to be. And it was like, I wish I could give you one, buddy. I really could. Because we've seen a lot of interesting stuff, but here's what it is. All right, well, we got this done. This is going to go to the back, and then I'm going to do some rounding cuts back there just to kind of figure it out, because I have to figure out how to slot it in here and what I'm going to use to do that. Whether that is an attachment like a wooden blocks or something like that to help it stay up, or if I'm just going to zealot it in, like just like tab it in or something. Sorry, tab it in. Sorry, it's a little bit lower than I thought. But yeah, otherwise, thank you for joining me. I've been Mutgren Oatwald, and thank you for stopping by Dad's old shop.